Welcome to the Do It All Dad Year podcast. What Gen X dads understand: controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again. My three fuss-free kids, the majority of the time, are living proof of it. And I'm going to perform a new All-Star chapter edition to my upcoming collection of short stories, Waist to Height, really short stories. And this gem is called the Triggered Tearjerker. Holla! Thank you very much! Again, for those just tuning in, the Triggered Tearjerker. I can't believe you didn't cry at the end of Rudy. Dr. Tearjerker says, Fred, a bald, bearded, stumpy, 45-year-old recently remarried furniture salesman from Nyack, New York replies, was I supposed to cry? It's just a movie, doc. Dr. Tearjerker takes a deep breath to compose himself and says, I think you're incapable of experiencing joy for others. Matt, the furniture salesman, replies, how can you say that from only talking with me now after I paid you $300 an hour to watch Rudy for the past 2 hours? Dr. Tearjerker says, my sports movie crying therapy bought me my house in Nantucket, a spacious 3-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side of New York, and a Victorian mansion in Mount Vernon, New York, Denzel Washington's childhood stomping ground, by the way. And I'm not a Long Island hack like yourself. That's how I know, motherfucker. Matt says, Doc, take it easy. You sound like my ex-wife already, and we just met. Look, I'm only here because I just got remarried, yet my kid from the previous marriage is already causing a strain in our marital relationship. All the melatonin gummies in the world can't help my daughter sleep better at night, regardless of whether she thinks my new wife was pretty enough to replace mommy with or not. My new wife hates how I can't cry at the end of schmaltzy happy movies like Rudy 2, and questions whether I really want to have a do-over baby with her after all. Doc says, what did the movie Rudy make you think about? Matt says, I don't know, Doc, how Vince Vaughn has let his looks go to shit. I was never tuned to Sean Austin Green's melodramatic lisp, regardless if Lord of the Rings being huge for his franchise career or not. I thought about my dad spending more time watching the Knicks stink up the joint as a kid than helping me develop a halfway decent hook shot or a believable pump fake in the post. I thought of how my parents reserved their most emotive cheerleading efforts for my younger brother instead. I thought about the time my mom had me get her phone, which she left in my car, only to glance at a text from my younger brother to realize she uses a nickname for me, Scoops, for my younger brother too. If your mom regifted a nickname to your younger brother, the mama's boy, because he's always been her idealized romantic partner based on her sloppy slow dance display at his wedding, would you have issues crying at the end of Rudy 2? Dr. Tearjerker says, how did that make you feel to learn your mom uses the same nickname on your younger brother? Matt, the furniture salesman, says, it made me feel like a used furniture salesman, a nobody, an unwanted futon with bedbug bite marks after college. I'm open to more sports movie crying therapy, Doc. I just want to start resenting my mother less than my wife. Since I became a dad, I started morning prayer, yet I'm worried about God taking my good fortune away since giving me a daughter because I don't respect thy mother's opinion on how and what I should be doing with my life when she's barely around to help with my kid in the first place. Dr. Tearjerker says, why do you resent your mother besides her not being around to help with your daughter as much as you like? Matt says, whenever I visit her in Florida or she visits me back east, she's always sulking. Whenever my daughter gives me another jump hug, which saddens her because our bond will never be as close, I guess. Fuck radical empathy, Doc. My mom's default sourpuss mode around my happiness-spewing daughter will always piss me off, more so than her misspelled texts inquiring about how I'm handling the weather back east. How you handling the weather back east, Scoops? As I regrettably text her another video of her granddaughter sledding on her snow screamer with hardcore funky smoothness from start to finish. Either you're excited about your firstborn raising a girl who won't turn into the cum bucket drenched girl from the Fallen Angel video or not. I get it, Mom. You really wanted your favorite to have given you a grandchild instead. But he was too busy snorting coke for 4 decades straight, developing a mysterious stomach irritation out of the blue, yet somehow blames it on him being lactose intolerant. When all else fails, don't look yourself in the mirror to change your depraved ways. Just scapegoat fucking Land O'Lakes. But I'm glad my mom decided to keep the crib used for my daughter Matilda around in their house in Florida to symbolize positive thinking, wish fulfillment on her favorite's behalf. And my wife calls me, the unstable one, for yelling at my mom the last time she visited after insisting I get a maid, which I can't afford, or that I express my displeasure with my younger brother personally for not acknowledging my daughter's 10-year-old birthday whatsoever. Bet he's got demons to contend with. Got it. All I know, Doc, is my mother would never break into a constellation of canker sores over worrying on my behalf. Doc says, why do you resent your new wife? Didn't you just get married? Matt says, I love her, Doc, but it's not my new wife's role to criticize my daughter yet. 4 years down the road, sure, but my daughter will be out of the house by then. So if she chooses to live like a slob, then it's her business, not mine. And no, I don't want to get my daughter tested for ADD. I talk this much off Adderall, Doc. I actually stopped taking Adderall during my first marriage to focus less on how annoying my wife could be. It didn't make a difference, if you really need to know. Doc says, look, our time is up. Matt replies, so what movie magic do you have planned for me next week, Doc? Remember the Titans, Hoosiers, perhaps? Doc says, so you feel nothing when Dennis Hopper fills in for Gene Hackman as the basketball coach after being found in his home, waddling in drunken squalor prior, before his son locks his beamish, proud, piercing eyes into his pa's soul and says, I'm proud of you, Dad. Matt replies, I can't believe you get paid for this shit, Doc. Doc yells, get the fuck out of my office. You're banned permanently, you piece of shit deplorable. Dr. Tearjerker ended up in an insane asylum because his revolutionary sports movie crying therapy didn't work on the furniture salesman from Nyack, originally hailing from Long Island, which made him feel like a fluke, another vastly depreciated, average nobody, despite his own mother never reusing his nickname on his younger brother to project the aura of equal, distributed, encouraged love. Now Dr. Tearjerker sports a permanent straitjacket after trying to kill himself with a basketball pump needle once during outdoor play. He spends all his days now in a white padded room running suicide sprints, the look of extreme determination on his face, chanting with increasing force, Rudy, 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 only to add, I still shed tears of joy for you, Rudy, and if I'm deemed crazy by New York State standards for deriving happiness from other people's success through the silver screen or not, I don't care. At least I know I'm not among the walking dead yet. Rudy, Rudy, Rudy.